Hello, everybody. This is Shima Moin, and along with Professor Richard Doty, as the chairs of the current symposium on chemosensory dysfunction in COVID-19, we would like to thank you all for joining us. 2020 was a strange year as the pandemic changed our lives. On March 5th of 2020, I emailed Professor Doty to inform him about the smell loss that was observed in Iran in some COVID-19 patients after their infection. I was so thrilled with the idea of pursuing a study on this potential link that I wasn't even sure how to express it in my email. Should I explain it as an interesting, important, or just a new topic to work on? But certainly, I would have never imagined being an organizer of a symposium in about a year from the time of our communication. Following March 9th, the first piece of news in English was released pointing to the possible link between COVID-19 and smell loss. This screenshot emphasizes the numerous citizen reports of smell loss, coinciding with the spread of the virus in Iran. Two theories were suggested. The first one revolved around the impact of the coronavirus. The second and less probable theory related the phenomenon to increased exposure to chemicals used in disinfection. Around the same date, a Farsi Twitter account reported the surge in frequency of Google searches for smell and taste loss in provinces that had the epidemic. As the outbreak expanded widely and the WHO declared pandemic on March 11th, reports appeared in the social media of many other countries linking smell or taste loss to the spread of SARS coronavirus 2. This immediately attracted scientists working on the chemical senses. Subsequently, scientists, patient advocates, and journalists joined a global consortium to study the phenomenon, a consortium that is continuing to this day. By mid-April, the first influential studies with self-reports of smell or taste loss were published. Our group published the first study using validated psychophysical methods for assessment of the sense of smell in COVID-19 patients on April 17th. Such reports led to studies of the prevalence and reversibility of the smell loss of COVID-19 and the cellular mechanisms responsible for the loss. During the past 13 months, we witnessed an extraordinary increase in the number of published articles on chemical senses, as shown on the left. Extracting the papers related to COVID-19, we investigated some bibliometric statistics of this set of articles. Over 600 original articles and 200 review papers were published during this time. Above is just an overview of the processes involved in the analysis of this set of articles. Unfortunately, there is not enough time to go through this in detail. With a courtesy to Mojgan and Golita, who have performed this complicated analysis, I mention some findings briefly. For instance, we looked at the keywords provided by the authors and found them to cluster into 5 groups as neurological manifestations, chemosensory dysfunction, epidemiology, immunity and screening, and recovery. On top left are the 10 countries that publish the most articles. On the bottom left are the journals which have had the highest impact on this field. We can visualize the pattern of the international collaborations of this clearly global effort. It is obvious that the entire research community came together to better understand the involvement of the chemical senses in COVID-19. In this symposium, we selected topics we believe to be attractive and important to both basic scientists and clinicians, as well as health system policymakers. Dr. Parma will discuss how a global consortium approached the chemosensory loss in COVID-19 patients in over 60 countries. Dr. Over the West will present data on the molecular pathways that are dysregulated during COVID-19 infection, employing post-mortem nasal epithelium biopsies. Dr. Yan will discuss the implications of smell loss, its assessment, and its management in the clinic. Finally, Professor Doty will explain how machine learning techniques are being used to optimize the accuracy of smell tests for detecting COVID-19. As the pandemic continues widely, despite the containment and mitigation strategies, alterations in smell and taste could be a major health problem to be considered in health policy planning. Thank you.